Romeo Langford got all the attention Monday, but Indiana got better on Thursday as well. The Hoosiers added St. Mary's center Evan Fitzner as a graduate transfer, giving them an infusion of shooting in the front court. The 6'10" senior averaged just 5 points per game for the Gale last, but he shot 40% from three-point range, as he's done in each of the 3 years of his career. Indiana was one of the poorest three-point shooting in the country a year ago, ranking 307th nationally with a team shooting percentage of 32.2. Fitzner is a career 41.5% shooter from distance. The Hoosiers went 16-15 in Coach Archie Miller's first in Bloomington, but are ramping up to have a major improvement in year 2. Langford, a 5-star guard who hails from the Hoosier State, committed to Miller and Indiana earlier in the week to give Indiana not only some star power, but an instant impact wing who scores in bunches and is a capable defender as well. Adding Fitzner puts some experience and much-needed shooting and spacing on the roster as well. Semi Ojeleye is enjoying success these past few weeks after carving out a rotation spot for the Boston Celtics. The injury-depleted team is in the midst of making a somewhat surprising run in the NBA playoffs as the second-year forward has played a healthy amount during the first 2 series. But before finding his way into the NBA, Ojeleye had to navigate a difficult start to his college basketball career that included a transfer out of Duke to SMU. In a story from Mark Murphy of the Boston Herald, Ojeleye's parents detailed some difficult times dealing with Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski and his coaching staff as the family exited the program. At one point, during a tense meeting involving Ojeleye's mother, Joy, and brother, Victor, Coach K allegedly yelled and Ojeleye's mother was brought to tears when she asked about additional playing time. Ernest Ojeleye, Semi's father, also said that Duke assistant coach Nate James called him after the transfer and had negative things to say about his son. From Murphy's story, first he said the only way Semi was going to play at Duke was if someone else got hurt, said Ernest. Then he said Semi didn't work on his game, or do what they told him to do. He didn't ask the coaches what he had to do to get better. I said no, this person you are talking about is not my child, said Ernest. I was really hot about this, but then I told him, thanks for the privilege. But it was really annoying for them to try and destroy my son's character. Very wicked, actually. Ojeleye eventually transferred in the middle of his sophomore during 2014-15. He ended up at SMU, where he became the AAC Conference Player of the Year before becoming a second-round pick of the Celtics in the 2017 NBA Draft. While the negative aspect of the Duke relationship is the interesting part here, Ojeleye and his family also said being at Duke is part of the reason why Semi is in the NBA today. The Duke team that Ojeleye left in the middle of 2014-15 went on to win a national championship as star freshmen like Tyus Jones, Justice Winslow, Jahlil Okafor and Grayson Allen all figured out a way to make a run. Ojeleye was also able to find his own way to the NBA once he received ample playing time to showcase his talent at SMU. Duke responded to Murphy's story with a statement wishing Ojeleye and his family the best, while also mentioning the emotional dealings of a transfer scenario. This doesn't look great for Coach K and Duke's coaching staff. There are also parents from programs all over the country saying similar things after bad experiences at certain schools. Plenty of parents have also said positive things about Duke, and they've been a recruiting juggernaut over the past decade. So stories like this clearly haven't hurt the Blue Devils too much, and Ojeleye is playing for a team making a postseason run. After a breakthrough, Penn State is handing coach Pat Chambers an extension. The school has extended Chambers through the 2021-22 after the Nittany Lions racked up 26 wins, second most in program history, and won the NIT this past, it was announced Thursday. Coach Chambers has demonstrated tremendous vision and determination in building a strong foundation for our men's basketball program, Director of Athletics Sandy Barber said in a statement. The success the team enjoyed this was a result of the efforts and passion of Patrick and his staff in creating a culture that has raised the standards and expectations of the program. Because of his leadership, our loyal and dedicated fans and everyone who supports Penn State men's basketball are excited about continuing to build on the successes of the program and the development of our student athletes. The Nittany Lions have not made the NCAA tournament under Chambers, who took over the program ahead of the 2011-12, but 2018 was a breakout for them. Though they all lose Tony Carr to the NBA draft, Penn State will return the bulk of the roster that finished in the upper half of the Big Ten. Building a championship basketball program at Penn State has been our mission since day one, and we have made significant progress toward reaching that goal, Chambers said in a statement. I want to thank my former and current players who have committed to our staff and the culture of the program. And I especially want to thank their parents and families who have bought into our vision. The foundation for our future has been set. I am grateful to have the support of the administration, the students, local communities, and from Penn Staters everywhere. It has helped us elevate Penn State basketball to a new level, and we are confident the best is still yet to come. While awaiting a decision from forward Sagaba Konate, who's going through the NBA draft process without an agent, West Virginia lost a member of its front court rotation Thursday afternoon. Teddy Allen, a 6'5" forward who as a freshman played 12.1 minutes per game as a reserve, announced that he has received his release from West Virginia and will be transferring. pic.twitter.com/DOE3trahaf source at Jashu Teddy May 3, 2018 Allen averaged 7.0 points and 2.7 rebounds per game last, shooting 46.7% from the field and 73.8% from the foul line. His best offensive performance came in West Virginia's win over Kansas State on New Year's Day, as he scored 22 points, 8 for 12 FG in 19 minutes. Allen would follow that up by scoring 20 points in a win over Oklahoma on January 6, but he would score in double figures just 4 more times the remainder of the 2 of those double-digit scoring efforts came in the NCAA tournament, as Allen scored 16 points in West Virginia's first-round win over Murray State and 10 against eventual national champion Villanova in the Sweet 16. West Virginia has now lost 2 front-court players to transfer since the end of the with Match A. Bender making the decision to move on as well. However, the cupboard won't be bare, especially if Konate were to return for his junior. EA's Ahmad announced earlier this week that he will return for his senior, and Wesley Harris, Lamont West and Logan Root all have eligibility remaining. West Virginia also adds 2 front-court players as a part of its 2018 recruiting class, junior college transfer Andrew Gordon and 4-star freshman Derek Culver. The 2018 edition of the annual Mountain West Missouri Valley Challenge is the last one in the current contract, and on Thursday the matchups were announced. The headliner for the event is set for Tuesday, November 27, as reigning Mountain West regular champion Nevada visits reigning Missouri Valley regular and tournament champion Loyola University Chicago. The 2 teams staged a thriller in the Sweet 16 of this year's NCAA tournament, with the Ramblers winning 69-68 in Atlanta. Loyola, which finished with a 32-6 record, would go on to beat Kansas State in the Elite Eight to earn the program's first trip to the Final Four since 1963. In total there are 3 matchups on November the 27th, with Boise State visiting Drake and Southern Illinois visiting Colorado State. 5 matchups have been scheduled for Wednesday, November 28, including Valparaiso visiting UNLV and Wyoming visiting Evansville. The final 2 games of the challenge will be played Saturday, December 1, with Mountain West Tournament champion San Diego State visiting Illinois State and Bradley hosting New Mexico. Fresno State is the Mountain West team that will not play in the challenge, as the league has 11 members. Below are the dates and matchups, with tip times and television information to be released at a later date. Last challenge ended in a 5-5 tie. Tuesday, November 27, Nevada at Loyola, Boise State at Drake, Southern Illinois at Colorado State. Wednesday, November 28, Valparaiso at UNLV, Northern Iowa at Utah State, Indiana State at San Jose State, Missouri State at Air Force, Wyoming at Evansville. Saturday, December 1, San Diego State at Illinois State, New Mexico at Bradley. Given the number of departures from the program this spring, and the fact that Brian Crawford is going through the NBA draft process without an agent, Wake Forest is in a position where it needs to add players capable of contributing immediately. On Wednesday, Danny Manning's program landed a commitment from an immediately eligible transfer, as former Northern Arizona guard Torrey Johnson announced that he will play his final of college basketball at Wake Forest. Johnson took his official visit to Wake Forest on Tuesday and is the second grad transfer to join the program this spring, with the first being former Buffalo forward Akenes Smart. Johnson started 22 of the 31 games he played for now last, averaging 11.5 points and 2.2 rebounds in 26.9 minutes per game. The 6'3" guard shot 37.7% from the field, 32.2% from three and 77.4% from the foul line. A native of Chicago, Johnson redshirted as a freshman before making 26 starts and averaging 9.3 points and 2.6 rebounds per game during the 2015-16. Johnson missed the entire 2016-17 due to a torn ACL. As a result of the twos missed, it's likely that Johnson will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. A petition would need to be filed for a 6th year of eligibility. With Doral Moore turning pro, Keyshawn Woods transferring and Mitchell Wilbekin out of eligibility, Wake Forest could be in a position where it needs to account for the loss of 4 of its top 6 scorers if the aforementioned Crawford were to remain in the 2018 NBA draft. Crawford led the Demon Deacons in both scoring and assists last, and if he were to leave, rising junior Brandon Childress 9.1 PPG, 3.6 APG would be the leading returnee in both of those statistical categories. HT Les Johns, Demon Deacon Digest.